Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Chicago and the Big Ten Football Kickoff Media Days. I'm Mike Lucas from the UWBadgers.com. I'm joined by the voice of the Badgers, Matt Lepay. Brett Bielema was the leadoff hitter for the coaches this morning. I thought he acquitted himself well, especially when he talked about how Wisconsin would not recruit current Penn State players.
Yeah, I think kind of a home run. When he talked about one of the theme questions of the day is how did you feel to each coach? How do you feel about being allowed to contact players from Penn State with all the issues going on there? They can transfer and schools can initiate the contact. And Brett was saying they met about it and they decided as a staff at Wisconsin, the Badgers were not going to pursue. They were not going to contact Penn State about any of its players. And some other coaches said the same thing, but for Brett to lead things off that way, I thought made a pretty strong statement about at least most of the members, not all, but many of them saying we're going to kind of support a member institution that's going through a real tough time right now.
It is such a unique situation, unprecedented. But every coach is approaching it in a different way. We heard from Danny Hope at Purdue and Tim Beckman at Illinois, and both of those coaches believe that they're going to be open to any potential transfer from Penn State.
And to be honest, when even this is such a departure, because in a sense it's legalized tampering, where you're able to contact the NCAA, in this case says you can contact players at Penn State. My knee-jerk reaction as a college football fan, thinking if I'm a coach, yeah, I'd do that. But obviously these guys, some of them at least, have thought about it and they're just not comfortable doing it. Others, you might be in a position where you might need some players here, and it's legal. They say it's okay, so you go ahead and do it. I think it definitely is. It's an individual decision as a coach or a group decision as a staff. As we said, I think the way Brett presented himself today was pretty strong. Very strong statement on Wisconsin's philosophy and how it was not going to initiate contact.
It was a packed room this morning. I think we all expected it because people were there to hear from Bill O'Brien, the new coach at Penn State. And he addressed the main topics again, and he will probably again have to address them. But I thought he was on point.
Yeah, he was, and a couple of his answers were Bill Belichick-like, too. He had obviously worked with him with the New England Patriots, and some of those questions were no, yes, and no further than that. But you can understand, I think, what he's trying to do in an incredibly difficult situation. He's trying to rally his team. And many of them obviously have already spoken out about how they're going to stay at Penn State, but it's a spot that only he knows what it's like right now as a head coach to be there. But yeah, I thought all in all, I thought he presented himself very well today as well.
Man, oh man, the turnover has been significant among the coaches in the leaders division. 3 new faces on the sidelines.
Well, how about where Brett Bielema is now in terms of the seniority list of Big Ten coaches? He and Pat Fitzgerald, they look up to one. Kirk Ferentz, and this is Brett Bielema's 7th year, and obviously the same for Fitzgerald. It is unbelievable what has changed in this league, and some programs, as we know, have been vulnerable to coaching changes, but when you look at in the past couple of years, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, you don't expect 2 years ago, if we would have said, hey, this is what's going to be happening here, no one would have believed it.
Badgers have been tapped as the favorite in their division, understandably so, given the sanctions at Ohio State and Penn State. I thought Brett handled those questions well. It's a tough position to be in because you're not the underdog, and Wisconsin has always reveled in being that underdog.
And yet at the same time staying true to the philosophy. How many times have we heard it? The 1-0, you try to get better every day, and that's the only way probably to approach it if you're Wisconsin. There are a number of people I think right now are ready to hand the Badgers the trophy. That'd be great, but we know it doesn't work that way. The thing to remember, Penn State's ineligible, but Penn State will play. Ohio State's ineligible, Ohio State will play. Both of those programs have some pretty good players. So there'll still be tough games to win. They can't win the league, but they can still have some say on who does.
The only other real hard news here in Chicago has been Montee Ball's transition from Montee to Montee. That's what he would like to be called. That's the way he's always known his name to be pronounced, but it just sort of fell into Monty, and he decided not to really check it.
Which, after the regular season ended last year, he told for 2 or 3 days he was Montee Ball, and then a couple days later he said, nah, just call me Montee. And now he's decided he's Montee. Hey, you know what, Montee? If you want to keep doing what you've been doing, score lots of touchdowns and don't put the ball on the ground, Mr. Ball, Montee Ball, that works.
In December, if we can call Montee Ball a Heisman finalist again, all is good.
Absolutely.
And everybody wins.
That's right. No, he can call himself whatever he wants. They're thrilled to have him back, without a doubt.
For Matt Lepay, I'm Mike Lucas. Thanks for watching UWBadgers.com.